Never in the history of independent India has the political class been so illiberal as it is today. Just a few days back, Nobel laureate and Bharat Ratna awardee Amartya Sen commented that he does not want to see Mr. Narendra Modi, who is presently the Chief Minister of Gujarat, as the Prime Minister of India. He stated that Mr. Modi had not done enough to safeguard the minorities in his state, and he further opined that he had not done what he should have done in order to ensure that minority rights are not bulldozed in Gujarat. He also said that he did not approve of the Modi model of governance because even though Gujarat ranked high as far as physical infrastructure is concerned, but as far as social indicators are concerned, Gujarat continues to be where it was initially, and its performance has been quite poor in regards to these sectors. There's an NGO in India called Pratham, and it came out with a report which basically said that as far as education is concerned, Gujarat is even behind Bihar. Malnutrition has been a big problem in Gujarat. When Mr. Narendra Modi was asked about it in an interview with a foreign media organization, he commented that in India, the middle class is more fashion conscious rather than health conscious. So if a mother tells a young lady that you should have a glass of milk, she'll say that mama, I'll grow fat. So this was an absurd answer which was given by Mr. Narendra Modi, because the question was in regards to malnutrition among young kids. So keeping these things into mind, Mr. Amartya Sen said that he did not approve of the kind of economics which was being practiced in Gujarat. The moment Mr. Amartya Sen made this statement, a very renowned figure of the BJP, who is currently the editor of a leading English daily called Pioneer, and also a member of parliament in the Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house of the Indian Parliament, Chandan Mitra, he tweeted that Mr. Amartya Sen should be stripped of his Bharat Ratna. And he said that when the next NDA government, comes into formation in 2014, we should do this because we were the ones who awarded him with the Bharat Ratna, and now he's speaking out against us. So you can see the kind of illiberalism which was intrinsically associated with Mr. Mitra's comments. By making such a vague remark, I'm pretty sure Mr. Chandan Mitra has lost a lot of respect, because being one of the foremost editors in India today, a person as a personality as esteemed as him should not be making these kind of careless remarks. Amartya Sen is a national jewel, and he has been guaranteed the right to freedom of speech under Article 19 of the Constitution. He has every right to criticize any and every politician he wants to. Just because he is criticizing somebody whom you consider to be the so-called voice of the nation, it does not mean that we will strip him of his Bharat Ratna award. The NDA government did no favor upon Mr. Amartya Sen by giving him the Bharat Ratna. It was his hard work which earned him this prize. Similarly, in Bombay, there was an eatery, a restaurant, and on its sales receipt, it had published something against the UPA government, which basically said that as per the UPA government eating money, which was a reference to the scams which have taken place during UPA 2's tenure, specifically the 2G scam, the CWG and the coal scam. So the receipt said that as per UPA government, eating money is fine, but sitting and having food in an AC hotel, it's a luxury. The moment Congress party goons in Bombay came to know of this, the Youth Congress, which is the youth wing of the Congress party, it was entrusted with the task of teaching the owner of this eatery a lesson, and they went to that place and they ensured that this eatery was shut down. I cannot express or articulate upon the kind of high-handedness which was shown by Congress party goons in this particular case. if you find anything to be defamatory or against your party or against, the activities which are being carried out by your party, you can take such a matter to court and get the person booked under defamation. I am told that they did book a case under defamation, but nobody has the right to take the law into their hands. Congress party goons will not, enforce upon a shutdown of an eatery just because it printed something against the Congress party. If the High Court or the District Court or the Supreme Court had passed such an order, then it should have been complied with. And this action should have been carried out by the state authorities and not a political party. Congress party has been nurturing a kind of sycophancy among its party workers. And every party worker is trying to, ensure that anything and everything which goes against their party high bosses, it should be, categorically clamped down. So when we see Mr. Kapil Sibal ensuring that, pages which are rather critical of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, they should be shut down or they should be banned or they should be blocked, we are only, witnessing a kind of sycophancy. And the whole purpose behind this sycophancy is to create a favorable image for yourself or for your particular party unit in the minds of your party leaders. This political illiberalism, or rather this political bigotry, is not merely relegated to the two national parties of India, that is the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress Party. West Bengal Chief Minister Ms. Mamata Banerjee has also been exhibiting, a very rash behavior ever since she has become the Chief Minister of West Bengal. Last year, CNN IBN had arranged for a talk show in Kolkata, which is the capital city of West Bengal, where Mamata Banerjee was being interviewed by Sagarika Ghosh, and some student over there, she asked Ms. Mamata Banerjee about a rape incident, and Mamata Banerjee got so angry that she shouted at her and she said that, this person is a Maoist agent, and she walked out of the show. Similarly, cartoons which have been critical of our government, or the person who drew those cartoons, very renowned professor, he was arrested. So in West Bengal at the moment, political bigotry or political illiberalism is at its very zenith. Last year, a very senior Samajwadi Party leader who was also the editor of an Urdu daily called Nai Dunya, Shahid Siddiqui, he interviewed Mr. Narendra Modi. Now there is no harm in interviewing Narendra Modi. He just went to interview Narendra Modi, and his interview of Narendra Modi is one of the most comprehensive interviews which anyone has taken from Mr. Narendra Modi in regards to the 2002 post-Budra riots. And the moment he took that interview, Samajwadi Party, distanced itself from Mr. Shahid Siddiqui and said that he was not a party member. And this was something which was extremely stupid, because every night the people of India used to see Shahid Siddiqui representing Samajwadi Party's viewpoint on some news channel or the other. Mr. Siddiqui himself claimed that he joined the party in the presence of Party Supremo Mulayam Singh Yadav. So this is a kind of Modi phobia which some parties are suffering from. Just because a particular person interviews Narendra Modi, they expel that person from the party, or they say that this person was never a part of the party. Similar kind of phobia was shown by the Bahujan Samaj Party. One of their leaders said that Modi's puppy remarks, which he had given, in a Reuters interview, they were being misinterpreted, and he did not, he was not comparing the entire Muslim community with puppies. The moment he said this, he was, expelled by the Bahujan Samaj Party, which is being headed by Mayawati. We live in a parliamentary form of pluralistic democracy. Intra-party democracy is just as imperative as elections. So if a person cannot voice his opinion within the party, such a party cannot claim to be a democratic one. All these parties which are being run by either one family or one individual or one very rigid political ideology, these people should understand that this kind of behavior cannot be tolerated, and in a democratic society everybody has been guaranteed the right to freedom of speech under Article 19, 1A of the Constitution. And if you think that if this particular right is being made wrong use of, then also there are certain reasonable restrictions which can be imposed on it. You can take the matter to court, but do not, for God's sake, accuse people of something which is, which is as bizarre as calling them Maoists, or do not enforce upon shutting down of shops, because these kind of things only weaken democracies. They never strengthen democracies. It creates a very rigid image of politicians in the minds of the people. If politicians think that by doing such kind of things they are showing to the people their strength or their prowess, then they are very wrong. The people do not view such activities with any sort of sympathy.